Awaken Light Audio. Awaken your mind, ignite your light.
Positive attitude, the secret weapon of high achievers. What if your greatest asset in life isn't your intelligence, your experience, or your resources, but the way you think when no one is watching? What if success doesn't begin when the world applauds you, but when you wake up and decide to carry hope into a hopeless moment? What if the most underrated force behind every high achiever isn't talent or luck, but the quiet choice to stay positive when everything goes dark? In a world chasing hacks, shortcuts, and strategies, the real edge, the one most overlooked, is this: a positive attitude. Not just fake smiles or blind optimism, but a deep, practiced mindset that chooses to see beyond the obstacle, that whispers, "Keep going," even when doubt screams, "Give up." This video is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about showing you how the world's most resilient, successful, fulfilled people rise not because life is easy, but because they refuse to let life define their attitude. You'll learn how positivity rewires your brain, strengthens your relationships, supercharges your resilience, and builds the emotional foundation for sustainable, long-term achievement. And by the end of this journey, you'll realize a positive attitude isn't just a feel-good habit, it's a discipline, a skill, a weapon in the hands of those who choose to master it. Chapter 1. The Mindset Behind Achievement. What if success isn't about doing more, but about thinking differently? What if your real breakthrough doesn't start with action, but with the attitude behind that action? And what if high achievers aren't just working harder, but believing better? The truth is simple, but most overlook it. Achievement is never just about skill. It's about state of mind. Two people can face the exact same problem. One breaks down, the other breaks through. The difference isn't in circumstance, it's in perspective. Because behind every goal reached, every setback survived, every mountain moved, is a mind that refused to bend toward negativity. You can't control everything that happens. You can't control how others act. But you can always control this: how you choose to see it, how you choose to show up, how you choose to respond. That's what separates high achievers from the rest. Not luck, not privilege, not magic, but a trained mind that turns obstacles into opportunities. Over and over again, think about it. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Oprah was fired from her first TV job and told she wasn't fit for television. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. None of them let rejection define them. They reframed it, they used it, they decided, "This doesn't mean I'm not good enough, it means I'm not done yet." That's attitude, and that choice, moment after moment, becomes a mindset. That mindset becomes a pattern, and that pattern becomes your identity. A positive attitude doesn't mean ignoring the pain, it means deciding that the pain won't own you, that you can feel frustration and still keep going, that you can face failure and still believe in your next step. The first practice for you. Shift your inner language, but to redirect it, when something hard happens, stop and ask, what's one thing I can learn from this? What's one way I've handled worse before? What would a high achiever do with this same situation? Write the answers down, say them out loud. Turn your reaction into a refocus. Talk to yourself. I am not my circumstances. I am not my fears. I am not my doubts. I am the mindset I choose, the meaning I create, and the energy I bring, no matter what shows up. Chapter 2. Reframing obstacles through positivity. What if your biggest obstacle was actually your greatest teacher? What if what you see as resistance is really refinement? And what if nothing in your way is there to stop you, but to shape you? Let's face it, obstacles are inevitable. Pain is part of the path. But how you frame those challenges, that changes everything. Most people see failure as a wall. High achievers see it as a mirror. Most people see setbacks as signs to quit. High achievers see them as feedback, not defeat. It's not about being blindly positive. It's about being powerfully intentional. Choosing to ask, what is this here to teach me? Instead of, why is this happening to me? Think of a camera. The lens you choose determines the picture you get in life. Your attitude is that lens, and reframing is your ability to zoom out, shift the angle, and see the hidden gift in the struggle. Maybe that failure wasn't rejection. It was redirection. Maybe that delay wasn't denial. It was preparation. Maybe that heartbreak wasn't punishment. It was protection. It all depends on how you frame it, because life doesn't just happen to you. It responds to how you interpret it. And here's the power in reframing. You take back control. You stop reacting. You start responding. With clarity, with courage, with perspective, you become unshakable. Because you've learned that no matter what shows up, you get to decide what it means. The second practice, reframe one challenge today. Pick one current struggle, something that's been frustrating you, holding you back, draining your energy. Now pause. Ask yourself, what lesson might this be offering me? What would I tell my future self about how I overcame this? How could this actually be serving me, even if I don't see it yet? Write down your answers, read them out loud, let the reframe settle into your nervous system. Every time you shift the story, you shift your strength. Remind yourself, I don't run from challenges, I rise through them. Every obstacle is not the end of my path, it's part of my becoming. I don't ask why me, I ask, what now? Because I was made for this. Chapter 3. Energy that attracts the power of positive vibes. What if people don't respond to your words, but to your energy? What if success isn't just about working hard, but vibrating high? And what if the most attractive thing about you is the way you make others feel in your presence? There's something we don't talk about enough. Your energy speaks before you do. Before you introduce yourself, people feel you. Before you share your vision, they sense your presence. Before they believe your message, they believe your vibe and positivity. It's not just a mood, it's a frequency, it's a force, it's fuel for momentum, and it's contagious. You've felt it before, that one person who walks into the room and everything just lifts. Their smile isn't fake, it's grounded. Their presence isn't loud, it's anchored. Their energy says, you're safe here. There's hope here. There's possibility here. That's what high achievers carry. They don't just lead with logic, they lead with light. They've trained their internal world so consistently that it transforms the space around them. Energy is invisible, but undeniable. You can't fake what you haven't built inside, and you attract who you are, not who you pretend to be. That's why working on your attitude isn't selfish, it's service. Because every room you enter becomes better when your presence carries peace instead of pressure. Every interaction becomes richer when you bring encouragement instead of comparison. And here's the deeper truth. People remember how you made them feel. Long after, they forget what you said. Your energy leaves a legacy, so let your legacy be light. Next practice, energy reset ritual. Take a moment today to check your inner energy. Are you radiating stress or calm? Are you focused on what's missing or what's possible? Are you bringing fear into the room or faith? Take 5 deep breaths. Smile softly. Feel your feet on the ground. Remind yourself, I am the thermostat, not the thermometer. I set the temperature of the space I walk into. Then walk into the next conversation carrying clarity, joy, and trust. Watch what happens. Don't forget this. My energy is louder than my words. I don't chase attention. I attract alignment. I don't need to impress. I need to be in tune, because when I radiate positivity, the right people, opportunities, and momentum come looking for me. Chapter 4. Resilience in the face of setbacks. What if your setbacks weren't signs to stop, but signals to strengthen? What if pain wasn't there to punish you, but to prepare you? And what if your true power isn't measured by how you shine in the spotlight, but how you stand in the dark? Let's be honest, success stories are never linear. No one gets to the top without hitting a few walls, falling flat, getting knocked down. But the ones who rise again, they all have one thing in common: resilience powered by a positive mindset. Not fake positivity, not toxic optimism, but the unshakable belief that this is not the end of me, that even in loss, I can learn, even in pain, I can grow, even in silence, I can rebuild. Resilience doesn't mean you don't feel the hurt, it means you don't let the hurt become your home. You might bend, you might bruise, but you do not break, because you've chosen to believe that every detour still leads somewhere meaningful, because you know setbacks aren't the opposite of progress, they're part of it. And the storm you're walking through now, it might just be building the strength you prayed for. Think about the strongest, people you admire. You respect them, not because life was easy for them, but because they kept showing up when it wasn't. They failed forward. They kept their mind clean. When the world got messy, they stayed soft. Even when life got hard. That's what makes a person magnetic, not just what they've built, but what they survived to build it. Another practice, the resilience reflection. Ask yourself today, what's one moment in my past I thought would break me, but didn't? What did it teach me? What strength did I gain that I didn't have before? Now look at your current setback and say, if I got through that, I can rise through this. Breathe deep, stand tall, let that truth anchor you. Talk to yourself. I may fall, but I won't fold. I may cry, but I won't quit. I don't measure strength by how I avoid pain, but by how I rise with purpose through it. This setback is not my ending. It's just another chapter in my becoming. Chapter 5. Cultivating self-belief through positive self-talk. What if the most important voice in your life is your own? What if your confidence doesn't come from what others say, but from what you whisper to yourself when no one else is around? And what if you've been waiting for someone to believe in you, when deep down, it was your job all along? The world is loud, critics, doubts, comparisons, expectations. But the voice that shapes you most is the one in your own head. That voice is either your coach or your cage, your weapon or your weakness. Self-talk is not just mental chatter, it's internal programming. Every time you say, I can't, you weaken your spirit. Every time you say, I'm not enough, your body believes it. But every time you say, I've got this, your entire system shifts into motion. You've already survived so much, but have you celebrated it? You've already overcome things others would have quit on. But have you reminded yourself of that strength lately? Most of us are too kind to others and too cruel to ourselves. We tell our friends, you're amazing, you've got this, you're doing better than you think. But when we look in the mirror, we say, I'm not there yet, I'm messing up, I'm falling behind. That has to change, because you can't build a powerful life on a foundation of internal abuse. High achievers don't just work differently, they talk to themselves differently. They speak to their future, not their fear. They call themselves forward, not down. And because of that, their belief becomes unbreakable. Not because life is easy, but because their words are strong. One more practice. Rewrite your inner script. Take 10 minutes today, find a quiet space, then write down 5 phrases you regularly tell yourself, especially in hard moments. Now ask, is this voice helping me grow or keeping me stuck? Would I ever say this to someone I love? What would I rather believe instead? Then replace the old voice with a new one. I'm learning. I'm not late. I'm building something that takes time, and I'm already proud of how far I've come. Say it. Repeat it. Let it echo louder than doubt. My voice is my foundation. I speak life into my growth. I speak strength into my weakness. I speak grace into my becoming. And from this day forward, I don't just believe in success. I believe in me. Chapter 6. Choosing Positivity Daily, a Practical Guide. What if positivity isn't a feeling you wait for, but a muscle you train? What if your day doesn't shape your mood, but your mindset shapes your day? And what if the secret to a better life is simply choosing better thoughts, moment by moment? Too many people treat positivity like luck. If the day is good, I'll feel good. If they treat me right, I'll stay calm. If things go my way, I'll be kind. But high achievers don't wait for the world to give them permission. To feel positive, they create it. They choose it. They protect it because they understand. Positivity is not a passive emotion. It's a daily decision. Every moment is an invitation. When someone cuts you off in traffic, you can react with rage or respond with grace. When the schedule shifts, you can spiral into stress or shift into flexibility. When someone criticizes you, you can absorb it or filter it with truth. Positivity doesn't mean you fake a smile. Through pain, it means you filter your focus. It means you stay in charge of your state. Even when the world tries to pull you out of it, here's the truth. Most people live in reaction mode. They wake up and hand over their peace to the first notification. They let news, opinions, and strangers dictate how they feel. But your mind is not a public space. It's sacred, and only you get to decide. What energy lives there? Choosing positivity is like choosing clean water. You don't wait to feel dehydrated to drink it. You make it a habit, a lifestyle, because your life depends on it. The next practice, the morning frame. Tomorrow morning, before the world gets to you, try this. Sit quietly for 3 minutes. Ask, what energy do I want to bring into today? Say out loud, today, I choose calm. Today, I choose focus. Today, I choose to respond, not react. Then, breathe and begin your day carrying intention, not impulse. Talk to yourself. Positivity is not a mood, it's a muscle. I train it with every choice, every pause, every response. I don't wait for joy. I build it. I don't chase peace. I choose it. And every time I do, I become the version of me I was born to be. Chapter 7. Gratitude, the backbone of a positive life. What if you already have more than enough to feel full, but you've been too distracted to see it? What if the secret to happiness isn't getting more, but noticing more? And what if gratitude isn't just something you express, but something you embody? In the race for more, we often forget what we've already received in the rush to become. We overlook how far we've already come, but high achievers, they move forward without losing sight of the now. They build success without disconnecting from gratitude, because they understand gratitude is not weakness, it's strength. It's not complacency, it's clarity. It's not settling, it's anchoring. Gratitude rewires your mind. It teaches your nervous system that peace is already available. It slows down your anxiety long enough for you to say, right here, right now, I am safe, I am blessed, I am enough. It doesn't mean you stop growing. It means you grow rooted. It means you build from wholeness, not from lack. Because when you're grateful, even small wins feel big. Even ordinary days feel sacred. You stop waiting for life to be good, and you start seeing that it already is. Here's what gratitude does. It dissolves comparison. It quiets entitlement. It attracts more to be grateful for. Gratitude opens your eyes and your future, because what you appreciate expands. Next practice. Gratitude, grounding. Each might write down one thing that made you smile. Today, one moment you handled better than yesterday. One challenge that taught you something. Then close your eyes. Say, thank you, sincerely. Not because life is perfect, but because you're learning to see differently. Remind yourself, I don't wait for someday to feel grateful. I make space today. I breathe into the beauty around me. I honor the growth inside me. Because gratitude is not the finish line. It's the foundation. It's what makes every step forward sacred. Chapter 8. Leading with light, bringing positivity to the world. What if your energy is someone's turning point today? What if your kindness is the only light they'll see? And what if you don't need a stage, a title, or applause to be a leader of light? The world doesn't just need more success stories, it needs more positive ones. People who show up not to impress, but to impact. People who rise without stepping on others. People who shine, not to outshine, but to light the way. That's what leading with light means. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. A positive attitude isn't just for your benefit. It becomes a gift to every room you walk into. You never know who's watching, who's quietly inspired by how you handle stress, who's learning from how you stay calm in chaos, who's healing just by being near your peace. Your energy teaches, louder than your words. And when you carry positivity consistently, you become a mirror of possibility. You show others what's possible, not through motivation, but through embodiment. This is legacy, not just what you build, but how you build it. You lift as you rise, what you give as you grow. And the most powerful leaders, they don't just lead from the front, they lead from within. A practice for you: be the light moment today. Make one intentional act of positive influence. Smile at someone who looks invisible. Encourage someone who doubts themselves. Respond with calm where others expect anger. Offer genuine praise where it's rare. Then ask yourself, what would the world feel like if everyone brought this kind of energy? Now realize you're already shaping that world, one moment at a time. Remind that, I don't wait to be recognized to lead. I lead with my energy. I lead with my presence. I lead with my light. I'm not just building a life that shines. I'm helping others see the light in themselves. Chapter 9. Becoming the person others gravitate toward. What if you didn't need to chase connection? Because the right people are already drawn to your energy. What if influence isn't about how loud you speak, but how aligned you are? And what if becoming magnetic starts not with how you present yourself, but how you know yourself? The most attractive people aren't the loudest. They're not the trendiest. They're not always the most skilled, but they are always this: rooted, real, radiant. They know who they are, they know what they value, and they don't bend to get approval, because their presence is already powerful. We spend so much energy trying to be liked, noticed, remembered, but high achievers know it's not about trying to stand out, it's about learning how to stand still. In your truth, in your peace, in your light, when you embody integrity, consistency, and quiet confidence, people feel it. They trust it. They naturally gravitate toward it because it's rare. This kind of presence doesn't shout, it resonates. It doesn't chase attention. It attracts alignment. It's not about becoming what others want. It's about becoming so whole that those meant for you find you without force. And here's the truth: most never hear. The most magnetic version of you is the most authentic version of you. When your inner voice is kind, your boundaries are clear, and your energy is clean. People notice, even if they can't explain why. The practice, the magnetic mirror. Ask yourself today, where am I dimming myself to fit in? Where am I trying too hard to be liked instead of being real? What kind of energy do I naturally admire in others, and how can I embody that today? Now breathe, straighten your spine, and walk like someone who doesn't need to be chosen, because they've already chosen themselves. Tell yourself, I don't perform to be liked. I don't change to be accepted. I align, I radiate. I trust, because the more I become me, the more the right people find me. Chapter 10. The quiet force that changes everything. What if the greatest transformations don't begin with noise, but with a whisper? What if the power that moves mountains doesn't roar? It rises, silently, consistently, from within. And what if the most extraordinary thing about your journey is how quietly you chose to keep going when no one was watching, this is the truth we return to. Full circle. A positive attitude isn't just a mindset, it's a quiet revolution. One small thought, one choice to respond instead of react, one decision to hope. When it would have been easier to give up, not flashy, not loud, but real. And real is what changes everything. Think about it. No, one saw the inner battles you fought. No, one clapped when you decided to keep believing. No, one cheered when you chose peace over pride. But those were the moments that shaped you most. That's where the becoming happened. Because growth doesn't always look grand. It looks like breathing through the breakdown. Sometimes it looks like smiling through the silence. Sometimes it looks like taking one small step. Again, you are not here by accident. You've been learning to lead your own mind. You've been training to carry light in dark spaces. And now, you've become the kind of person the world needs more of. Someone who's not perfect, but present. Not loud, but anchored. Not demanding attention, but drawing others in just by being whole. So keep going, keep choosing the high road, keep seeing the best, keep showing up with joy, even when it's hard. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're becoming. And one day, when they ask you how you did it, how you stayed kind, stayed calm, stayed consistent, you'll smile and say, I learned to lead with light. I stayed grounded in gratitude. I trusted the quiet strength inside me. I kept a positive attitude, and it changed everything. The last practice anchored the becoming tonight. Reflect in silence. Ask yourself, who am I becoming? Not just in results, but in resilience. Where have I grown more gentle, more grateful, more grounded? How can I protect this energy moving forward? Light a candle, write a letter to your future self. Seal it with a promise. I will keep showing up, not for attention, but for alignment, not for perfection, but for peace, not for applause, but because this is who I've decided to be. Final reminder. I don't need to be loud to be powerful. I don't need to be seen to be impactful. I lead quietly. I live intentionally. I love deeply. And every day I choose positivity. I change my life. And maybe I help change someone else's too.
Thank you for spending this moment with Awaken Light Audio. If something today touched your heart or opened your mind, don't keep it to yourself. Share your thoughts in the comments. What spoke to you most? Tell us about your journey, your questions. Send it their way, because light grows when it's shared. Until next time, stay present, stay awakened, and keep becoming who you're meant to be.